Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of the TechUnited Talks podcast. I'm here together with Kayden and Aarrav today, and maybe they can introduce themselves better.
Hi, I'm Aarrav, and I'm participating in the RoboCup South Korea competition in the MSL League.
And hi, my name is Kayden. I'm also competing in the South Korea RoboCup competition in the Humanoid size league.
Okay, perfect. Can you tell me a bit more about what exactly you do in those leagues?
Yeah, Aarrav, would you like to begin?
Yes, so the MSL field is right behind here, and we actually have one of the robots moving around here. It's not our robot, but it's a robot from another team. So basically, we have 5 robots here, and all of them have wheels on it, so not like a humanoid. And they basically play football, and it's teams against teams, and see who wins in football.
And you work more on the hardware part, right?
Yes, in TechUnited and during this competition, I work mainly on electronics and mechanical aspects. So if something goes wrong, I try to fix it, debug the problem. And in TechUnited as well, I work mainly on mechatronics aspects.
Okay, and what about you?
Yeah, I work on, like I said earlier, I work on the humanoid size division. So recently we've been transferring all our knowledge learned from the MSL division to the humanoid size league. So we play 3-on-3 with full size humanoid robots. And yeah, it's our first time at RoboCup for the humanoid size league. So we're really here just to learn and see what we can do in the meantime.
Okay, perfect. Can you also explain a bit more about why you joined the team and when you joined?
So basically, I saw TechUnited when I was in high school, and I was part of RoboCup Junior. So I think I saw TechUnited in Bordeaux in 2023 when I was also participating, but not from TechUnited, and that's where I was like, if I go to TUE, I will definitely join TechUnited, and that's what I did. So I joined TechUnited in the first week of intro week, so around 2 years ago.
Yeah, I also, like Aarrav, I knew about TechUnited before I came to the university. You know, they do a ton of media, just like yourself doing right now. But it was really easy to find TechUnited and that's one of the reasons why I actually came to study at the University of Eindhoven.
Okay,
And
cool.
so I joined in my first year of my bachelor as well.
And can you tell us a bit more about what you already learned while being in the team?
Yeah, of course. Being in the team for 2 years, I learned a lot technically related to mechatronics, and also a lot of software, because most of the team members in TechUnited are working on software. So I also improved my skills in that aspect, and of course a little bit of soft skills, as in teamwork, collaboration, and presenting, for example.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and for myself, yeah, before joining this team, I've never seen like a humanoid robot before in real life, and now I get to be with one every day. So just being like that is pretty special. So
Cool. And do you also remember the first time you ever saw like a robot playing football or?
yeah, probably in RoboCup itself, but like I think 5 or 6 years ago.
yeah, also for me, like 6-7 years ago, with just RoboCup, videos, yeah, that TechUnited posted.
Yeah.
Then for this episode, we mainly want to focus more on humanoid robots because you already told me before that you want to like start designing a humanoid robot yourself. Can you tell me a bit more why you want to do that, how you came to that idea?
Yes. So right now, as a team, TechUnited, we're using the booster humanoid robots, which are off-the-shelf robots from China, from a company in China. So we just buy them off the shelf and make only the software for it. But our plan for the next year and the coming years is to develop our own humanoid robot from scratch, as in develop the mechanical design, electronics, and the software all by ourselves. So that is the plan, and we have set a goal or deadline, which is by the end of next year we can have at least the mechanical and electronics aspect prototype ready, and we can walk with our own humanoid robot. So that's the rough goal that we have set for ourselves.
Do you already know roughly like a decided size or weight or height that we want to go with?
So in the category that we're in the humanoid category that we're in, the limit is, I think it's around 180 centimeters for the height,
Okay.
and 85 kg.
Okay.
So we will not go for the absolute limit.
Yep.
But I think the rough requirement that we have set is I think 150 centimeter
Okay.
height, and weight around, I would say 60 kilograms.
Okay. Awesome.
Do you know what the dimensions are now from the booster humanoid robots? Like how heavy it is? You work with it, so
Yeah, off the top of my head, I do not know, but maybe Aarrav knows.
I think it's around 32 kg or something like that, and the height is 130,
I think so.
120,
I think
130
something like
centimeter,
that.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
okay. And today we already saw you were playing. We are at RoboCup, as
Yeah.
people might know. You played a game against one of the teams called Heroes, right?
Yep.
They had a very large
Yeah,
humanoid
yeah.
robots. What do you think of it? Why do they do this? Do you know more about this? Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I think it's so cool to see teams playing here with their own custom hardware. Almost every team you look around is all booster robots or Unity robots. So taking the time to develop your own hardware and test it and have it actually working at a competition like this and actually beat us is pretty amazing and pretty inspiring, I think, for us and the hardware team to see that what is possible with building your own robots. So
No, true. I completely agree. So there are multiple advantages of making your own robot and not relying on an off-the-shelf robot. And one of the main advantages that we see as TechUnited is not relying on a company, as in if there's some problem in the robots or something breaks, we need not send the robot to China or
Yeah.
ask their help. We know what's going wrong if we have our own humanoid and we can fix it ourselves. So we just have a lot more information and fixing ability if something goes wrong. That is one of the biggest
and
advantages.
building off of what Aarrav just said, in the last game we had something go wrong with the robot, and now the full left side of the robot's disconnected, and we don't know what's going wrong. So we just brought it to Booster, and they're currently fixing it, but it's not going to be ready till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we have no idea how to fix it, nothing. So with our custom hardware, it'd be much faster repairs. So
Yeah, exactly. In this case, you're just reliant on another person
Yeah,
to
yeah.
fix it, and you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea. It's good if we have more understanding of what's actually going on
for sure,
inside.
for sure.
What did you think of the actual features from that like designed robot that they themselves redesigned, like the height or
Yeah, I think,
other
I think one of
features?
the biggest differences you immediately see, the height. That thing makes the Booster T1 look like a teenager, and I think that gives a lot of advantages. Yeah, because it's much heavier and stuff, so it's harder to push around. But another thing is that's really different is they use linear actuators, so they're not actually using like quasi-direct drive motors that rotate just like all the other humanoids are. They're actually using linear actuators, so actuators that push and pull instead of rotate. So that's something really cool to see. So
Yeah, I think one main advantage of you using linear actuators is it mimics the human body.
yeah, exactly.
As in, human muscles are also linear actuators. They stretch and compress.
Yep.
So there's more space for actuation compared to rotary quasi-direct drive.
Nice to hear some more technical aspects of it,
Yeah.
since I don't know anything about it. So go on talking about it. What are mechanical characteristics of the booster that you would like to change? If you would not build your own robot, what would you like to change about the booster itself?
It's a good question. Do you have any ideas,
Yeah.
Aarrav?
So the first thing that we face a lot of problem is transportation of the battery here. So right now in RoboCup, we're actually renting the batteries from Booster itself, because if you need to ship a large battery, you cannot do it by yourself. You have to ship it in a special way, and it's super expensive, and it takes quite a bit of time. So we would like to have our own humanoid robot which has batteries that we can transport ourselves. So that is one thing that we would really like to have in our own humanoid robot.
I also heard someone talking once about the neck that is less stable than you would like it to be.
Yes. So the booster that we have right now, the neck actuators are not very stable, and if the robot falls, for example, then the actuators can break, and they're not very robust. So that is also a thing that we would like to improve.
Do you like to change
Yeah,
anything?
no, I agree. I think I'd like to also change the camera. I know I've seen teams experiment with the Real Sense, which is the current camera we have, is also with the Z2, and they provide a different booster with the watermelon looking head, that with the wider camera that has the Z2. And I think I've seen that the performance in that camera just seems to be better. So why not switch?
And what other advantages or disadvantages do you think the booster has compared to other humanoid robots in this league? There is a few teams that have different ones than the booster, right?
Yeah. So most ones you see will be. I think there's only 3. There's a bit
Mainly,
more.
yeah.
Mostly booster will be 80% booster. There's one team with Unity robots, and then 3 other teams with either one team that built all their own, and 2 other teams with other company robots. But I think the biggest advantage of the booster robots is obviously this kind of all event is sponsored by Booster. So I think there's about 30 to 40 guys that are running around full time, able to answer your questions if you have any and stuff like that. So having them, support this event because obviously it's a good moneymaker for them. But
Yeah.
having them here and able to, give them the robot, or some teams can't afford 3 to 5 robots their own, so they can actually just buy one of the Booster robots and they'll lend them 2 robots for the match. So that's a big way for new teams to get into a league like this. So
Was that also known before you decided to buy the booster that they were going to sponsor this event?
um
Or how did, I don't know if you were involved in the process in choosing
Yeah.
which.
yeah, I think the reason that we did buy them is just because of how prevalent they are at these tournaments and stuff, and how much was already available. With what they share already, you can already everything that they share, you can already play games and stuff. So they give you a lot beforehand, so that helps a
Yeah.
ton with new teams.
And especially since our team is relatively old and we have very experienced people with respect to building our own robots from scratch. For example, the MSL turtles, we can use those expertise in making our own humanoid robot. So that I think is a very useful asset to have for our team, which we will definitely use in the next couple of years.
Yeah, because how much from the MSL League can you actually use in the humanoid robots?
We're able to save some stuff. Definitely not everything is the same. With MSL, it's definitely much easier to know, where you are. You have that 360-degree Omni camera that we use that I'm sure people have talked about in these podcasts, as well as you have essentially your ball handling mechanism. So the robot has really good understanding of when it actually has the ball or not. But the humanoid robots, they don't. The ball's always just kind of free. We never trap the ball, so it's much harder to actually then pass or kick or stuff like that. So it's definitely harder.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
also in humanoids, your head is always shaking,
Yep.
and it's hard to perceive stuff when your images are blurry, and you don't have 360-degree vision compared to the MSL robots. So of course, it's harder and different challenges, but I think we will figure it out in the next few years.
Okay. And the reason why we kind of invited both of you is because you want to build a humanoid and you already built your own robot once,
Yep.
right? Can you tell us a bit more?
Yeah. I know Aarrav has also built a ton of robots I've seen on his LinkedIn. Yeah, but one of the projects that I spent a lot of time working on was building my own version of Disney's BDX Star Wars robot. So it's just a little cute bipedal robot based off a Star Wars character from their video game that walks around and acts like a character. So that was definitely the time that I learned the most in robotics, and that's, I believe, the best way to learn about robotics is by building it yourself. So
For sure.
Yeah.
No, completely agree with your point on the best way to learn robotics is to make your own projects. Yeah, that's the best way to get yourself building something and get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
That's when you learn the most instead of watching a YouTube video
for sure.
or watching from someone else. It's better to do stuff yourself.
Because what kind of robots did you already build?
So I've been into robotics since around 10 years and participated in multiple competitions before this, before I joined
In
TechUnited.
the junior league then?
Yes, but I mainly built slightly smaller robots, and also for RoboCup Junior, I built a small robot for rescue operations. So similar to rescue over here, but much smaller. And also a smart spoon for Parkinson's patients. So more in the healthcare technology, medical technology devices. And also a bunch of other small projects, not really robotics, but still maker projects, like an electric bicycle, for example.
And you've always
So-
been doing the hardware side, or?
I started off with hardware, but then I also shifted because hardware needs software. Software needs hardware. So you have to do both. And when it's a small team, when it was during my middle school and high school, I was involved in both. But me personally, I like the electronics aspect slightly more than the software, even though I was involved in both of it. So I guess that's why I'm more inclined towards hardware right now.
And you, how did you decide to focus more on software now?
Yeah, so I've always been like a hardware guy myself. I've always been 3D printing, CAD designing, building stuff. But hardware needs software. And recently with the AI boom, it's so much easier for me to now build something that I actually want with stuff like Claude, because I can build the hardware, and I can work with a coding agent to kind of really get what I want when it comes to the software. So currently with the humanoids, we don't have our own custom hardware, so I knew I had to go to work on the software instead. So
And before, what kind of things did you do before? Like other student? No, you weren't a student then. Like,
Yeah, so and back in my high school, we also had robotics competitions. We did the first Tech Challenge, which is another big robotics tournament around the world. But we didn't have RoboCup, so I competed in that. But it was similar. Every year there was a goal or a new theme, and you competed in a team to win. So
And then about building your own robot, like
Yep.
what difficulties did you face, and how would you maybe? Well, of course, you already built robots yourself, but maybe in a different league. So how would you advise him on building a robot yourself?
I think Aarrav will do a pretty good job with the help of guidance of Peter and stuff. But when it comes to building your own humanoid, it's going to be a lot of work. But
Yeah, for sure.
luckily, there's so many humanoids that we can already base stuff off of and stuff. So it's not like we are reinventing the wheel. We're just going to kind of do what's best, what's proven, what's well with our own custom actuators. I'm sure Peter's talked a ton about EtherCAT.
Not yet, not
Not
yet.
yet.
So talk
Okay.
about
Well,
it
yeah.
more
If you
want.
mention that word to him, he will talk about for an hour with
At
you.
least, yeah, 1
At
hour.
least
Yeah.
for EtherCAT. So he really loves that. So yeah, seeing our custom hardware work with the EtherCAT motor controllers, I think will be really cool.
What do you think the most difficult part is going to be about building a humanoid robot?
So we've already started the basic steps. We started around 1.5 months ago.
Okay.
And right now we're building the leg of the humanoid robot, a couple of prototypes. But I think the hardest part would be looking at our requirements and then getting what we need. Like there are so many things to consider while you design a humanoid robot, and you need to speak with the software people, you need to speak with the mechanical people and the electronics people, and try to integrate all of the requirements. And I think that's going to be the hardest part, as in having all the requirements met while designing the robot.
Okay, and
Yeah.
do you agree with that?
Yeah.
or-
Also, when it comes to we want to make the robots to play in these specific leagues. These leagues also have a lot of rules as well.
Yeah.
There's rules that the robot can only turn its head a certain amount of ways. So we have to also work within respect to all of those league rules that could change next year, could change the year after. We don't know. So we really have to be adaptable. So maybe our hardware could allow for more range of motion because hopefully it would be the same as a human, but maybe we would limit it in software, something like that. So.
Yeah, and also something that
We're
we
getting
need
hit
to,
on by a ball in
Yeah.
the meantime.
and so,
Please don't aim this way.
and something that we really need to consider while building our own humanoid robot is modularity and repairability.
Yeah.
Because as I've seen in the last couple of days in the MSL, so many things can go wrong. A wire can just come out, or a motor can just stop working. So our humanoid robot should be very easily repairable. If something goes wrong, we can easily remove it and put a new part in without having to spend 2 hours soldering wires.
Yeah.
So that is something that we need to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's almost inevitable. Your robot will break
Yes.
over and over again. So you need to be ready for it. We need to come with spare motors, everything.
Yes, and
so
easy to replace.
making it easy to fix, easy to build is the one of the biggest challenges, I think.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Most important.
And do you think your software work will change a lot when you go to a new humanoid robot?
Yeah, I think the benefit is we've always known from the beginning that we wanted our own humanoid, so we've kind of always designed with having strategy that and software that works. It doesn't matter what robot platform we are, a lot of it will just stay the same. So it should work. If we're using a booster, if we're using a Unitree, because we knew from the beginning and we kept that in mind that we always want to have our custom humanoid robot. So we can't just make something that's purely just for one robot. Otherwise, there's no point. So.
And did your first days here at the first days at RoboCup change your view on building your own humanoid? Have you get inspired by other teams? Well, the other team that built the robot, did you get new ideas from it? Or
Yeah, for me, the biggest learning from the last couple of days is the repairability and modularity, for sure.
Okay.
After working with 15-year-old robots, and so many things are old and it can just degrade. So that's one of my main learnings. But other than that, I've not spent too much time in the humanoid area. So maybe you have some stuff related to that.
I always thought, seeing the Unitree and the booster robot, the rotary actuators was the way to go. But seeing the other team with the linear actuators, I think it would be also cool for us to give it a try. Because why not? So.
And then about designing a humanoid robot, for now they go more and more into looking like a real human.
Yeah.
You still want to go that way, and what do you think of that? Like making a robot look like a human?
I think Aarrav could tell you a bit more about not so much looking like a human, but having the same sensors as a human. So maybe you could talk a bit about the foot sensors.
Yes. So in TechUnited, I'm also working on a small project, which is adding sensors, pressure sensors to the bottom of the feet, because humans, we have touch perception, tactile perception, as in when we pick up a cup, our fingers know that there's some force on the fingertips, but the booster robots right now have no clue, and they don't know when the leg touches the foot touches the floor. So that's something that I'm working on, which is adding sensors to the bottom of the feet so that they can know when pressure is there and when the foot is on the ground. So yes, for our humanoid, it's less about looking exactly like a human, but having functionalities and sensors more similar to a human. For example, hearing or like stereo hearing, so that we can know if the sound is coming from the left or the right.
Yeah.
Tactile perception. Yeah.
I know you mentioned that you've currently only been working on foot sensors on the bottom of the feet, but do you think it would also be beneficial to have them on the sides and front so we could have better feedback about dribbling and shooting?
No, for sure. Yes,
sure.
having sensors on the side and the front of the feet would help. Not necessarily in a closed loop format, as in because once you kick the ball is gone. You can't have a closed loop feedback on that, but it will help in training and simulation for sure.
What about making them all like you're gonna build one humanoid robot that you're just gonna duplicate until you form a team, or what do you think about the idea of having different ones that all have different characteristics? Is that even possible in the league, or?
I'm actually not sure about the rules.
Okay.
I'm not sure if all of the robots have to be identical or if they can be different.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. And I think that's our plan for next year because, ultimately we know we're just going to start building a humanoid, but we're not going to have 3 ready by next year.
No.
So the goal would be to maybe have one of our custom humanoids alongside 2 of the pre-built ones. So our software could work on both. And that would already be a huge milestone for us. But I think maybe it would be nicer to have,
a fast one and a big one and
yes. Also maybe the goalkeeper could have maybe longer arms or something like that, or just be better at moving sideways than moving forwards because it's not needed. So it would be cool, but it would definitely be a lot more work. To have 4, 5, 6, 7 different custom humanoid robots. So
yes,
yeah,
but that would be our goal for the future. But I think for next year, yes, having one robot which can walk.
Yeah,
that would
so
be
next year RoboCup.
That's the goal.
That is the goal.
Okay, cool. And what would be how many years would you need for multiple ones, you think?
That's hard to estimate.
And is the RoboCup gonna stay 3 against 3, or is it also gonna
So currently
upgrade?
it's actually 5v5, but most teams don't have 5 robots. So if a team has 5 robots and the other team has 3 robots, you then play 3v3. So that's why almost 99.99% of games, I think 100% of games here, we're all 3v3 because so little teams have 5 robots because of that availability of playing 3v3. So I think it'll stay 3v3 for a bit, but
Okay.
Yes, but I think the end goal is by 2050 robots play against humans. So at that point of time, it'll be 11 team members per team. And I think Rene was also proposing to the other trustees to have one extra team player every RoboCup season. So maybe from 2030 till 2035, we have one extra player each year. Something like that.
No, I think that was a great idea. He actually presented that to a bunch of the team members and other teams as well here at the RoboCup. And essentially, as Aarrav mentioned, the goal is have 11-11 at 2050 RoboCup. But that's really expensive for every team to have 11 robots. So Rene had the brilliant idea of, we have 3 robots, another team has 3 robots. We should somehow be able to use 3 of our robots, 3 of your robots, maybe running each other's different software and stuff, but still be able to play as a team because, it doesn't matter if you and I have ever played football together in real life. We could still play together. So that's how the robots should work as well. We should be able to pick one robot from our team, one robot from another team, and form an all-star team and still be able to play.
That's indeed
So
very
I
interesting.
think that would be the next step, and having that would be amazing. So
Okay, and then I also asked Peter and René this. How reachable do you think the goal is to play against a human football team in 2050?
You can go first.
I think the hardest thing is beating the 2050 humans with humanoid robots. I think essentially beating them with robots.
With MSL robots,
with robots
doable.
in general, it's doable. You have a robot that can move so quick, and with a robot with a shot that can shoot 200 kilometers an hour with a cannon. We could beat humans with robots, but we want to beat them while looking like humans as well. I think
Mhm.
that's a big challenge. But I used to think a couple years ago, before the big AI boom, that was very ambitious. But I mean, you see the advancements every year in robots, especially with companies like Unitree. And I think it's insane. And I think we're in good luck for the next couple of years. I think we're just going to continue to see more and more advancements. So I think right now it's a bit too early to tell, but within the next couple of years, I think that could move closer than 2050. So I'm looking forward.
Okay, Peter was always also so like positive about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you think?
No, I'm also almost on the same page as Kayden. Just looking at the robotics development in the last 3 or 4 years has been crazy. Like every month there's something new. And yeah, I think by 2050 we are going to have humanoid robots play and beat a human team for
There
sure.
we go. He said it. He said it.
Okay, then I want to go a bit more into the actual RoboCup that we are now, not
Yeah.
looking in the future. Can you give us a bit of a review of today? How did the humanoid matches go? How did the MSL matches go? What needs improving? What's already good?
Yeah, so maybe do you want to talk about MLS,
Yes.
MSL, and how we're doing so far?
Yes. So in the yesterday and day before, it was very bad, and the network was like the internet network was super bad because of all of the interference from other teams. But thankfully, yesterday evening we kind of fixed it, and this morning we tried it once again, and we can finally do some passes between robots because the network is much better and there's not too much packet loss. So we can finally play like how we were playing 2 years ago. So that's very nice. And I think we had 3 matches today, and we won all of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think the best match was 13-0. So we got 13 goals, and they got 0 goals.
Against which team? I didn't even see that game.
It was the last
Against-
one, right?
No, the one before the last.
Hibikino?
Yes, yeah, against the Japanese team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Well done.
At
Yeah.
some point, you just like,
Yeah,
are you not
just shoot,
like
shoot, shoot.
ashamed of scoring that much?
Yeah. No, but I think tomorrow and day after, people will improve
Yeah,
their
for sure.
their stuff, and then let's see how the semifinals and hopefully finals goes.
Yeah, we all saw like a sigh of relief when the first pass like
No, true. Yeah,
actually happened.
Yeah.
It was even a happier moment than the first score, I think.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And can you tell us a bit more about the
Yeah,
humanoids?
I think the whole team knew from beforehand. We are here in the Humanoid Size League to learn and to develop. We aren't here to win. So this is our first year actually competing in this league. So we knew, we were going to struggle. I think we've played 3 games so far. The first one we lost 3-0. Second one we lost 1-0. And the third one we lost 3-0. And now that doesn't sound actually too bad, but we never actually had the robots in the field for more than I think 5 seconds in total.
No, they were in the field, but they were
Yeah,
like,
we're in the
moving.
field but not doing anything. Yeah, we're really struggling with localization and knowing where we are on the field. And we also really struggled with ball recognition.
Mhm.
So if you don't know where you are on the field and you don't know where the ball is, it's pretty hard to play football. So we've been struggling, but we've been really working as a team. 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. the past 4 or 5 days in a row. So it's really coming together, and I think we play one more match, and I'm hoping to see some team tactics and a goal. I think if we can see a goal in the next game, it'll be worth it. So.
And someone told me a bit about, I don't know, I need a bit more explaining, that you found a problem today that you're going to fix about ball recognition or at least ball localization.
So we had a problem where I think it was for some reason I don't know.
You can explain it. Oh, you don't know?
I don't know what the
Okay,
problem
great.
was.
Then we will discuss it another day with
yeah.
I
another
think I
team
heard from
member.
Danny that the ball YOLO model was not trained properly, or
I don't know,
something.
we're still using the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, something like that. Some ball perception.
Well, it's fine.
Okay, that
Do you
question.
know other things that still need improving? Or
Yeah, for sure. Localization is one of the biggest things. Knowing where we are on the field, the ball detection is actually much better now. I think we just lowered the confidence. So before we were saying, okay, you have to be like 80% certain, that this is a ball, but now we're just saying, okay, 30% that's a ball. Yeah, go for it. It's better than just standing there doing nothing. So and that's been working so far. But yeah, we really need to work on our localization because if you still don't know where you are on the field, you can't pass, you can't do anything. So that's the biggest next challenge for us, and we hope to see it improve.
okay,
But
and what
are
is
you also getting false positives by reducing the confidence threshold?
We haven't seen that yet.
That's good.
Yeah, so that was nice. So.
Yeah.
explain to us what is false positives?
So if you're confident, so he just explained that they reduce the confidence threshold from 80 to 30%, and false positives is when you see something which is not a ball, but it detects that it is a ball because your confidence.
So yeah, I noticed I just bought fresh white shoes today,
Yeah.
and every time I'm standing near the robot does think my shoes
Shoes
are
are-
a ball. So
that's a
that is,
false
that is
positive.
that's a false
So
positive.
you were on socks all day. I saw
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So taking off when I was working with the robots, I was wearing socks, get stepped on, but yeah, it's better than not being able to play. So
Yeah.
Okay, but maybe we can end on a positive note. What
Yeah.
is something that is going very well with the humanoids?
yeah,
Or within the team of the humanoids?
Yeah, I think our spirits are high. Yeah, we came here to learn, and we're improving every game step by step every day. So just seeing, where we started before we got here and where we are now, it's still an incredible amount of work that we did to get here. Even though it doesn't look like that much, where we were, a week ago is way different than where we are now. So we're all very happy with the progress. So
Okay, that's nice. That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
That's amazing.
Okay, so every time I ask one specific question, maybe we already heard it a bit, but what is your favorite moment of today?
would you like to start?
Of today. Yeah, I think the first pass.
Yeah.
When a robot first passed, that was amazing. Like when the network issues was finally solved after 2 days of irritation. Like
Yeah.
you can see that the robot can just pass to the other robot, but the network is so bad that they don't communicate with each other. So I think that was the highlight.
Yeah, I think for me it was seeing all the three robots move onto the field at the same time when the game started. They could all look at the ball, but then once the game started, they all lost the ball. But just seeing them all move simultaneously, autonomously from the edge of the field, then into their play positions at the beginning of the game was pretty cool to see. So
Okay, and what are you looking forward to this week?
yeah, this week I'm really looking forward to hopefully scoring a goal. I worked a lot of time on training our own custom reinforcement learning policy where we can see the ball and give it an angle and how hard we want to kick and have it kick in that direction. So I'd really like to see that be used in a game to score our first ever goal with the humanoid robots.
Do you want to tell us more about your custom reinforcement learning, or is that going?
That's
into,
that's for maybe another podcast. But
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm looking forward to not having too many issues with the robots, as in
fair.
as in just small issues like one wire coming off of the computer or something like that. So hopefully those things don't happen in the final matches. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more competition tomorrow and day after from other teams as well.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
I wish we had that problem.
Is
Soon
a lot
you'll
of
have that.
stuff like actually breaking during the matches? Like I don't know how much you have to fix after every match.
During the matches, a little bit. Like one of the motors the gearbox just had more friction for some reason, and and then it just
I don't know,
started.
but yeah.
Yeah, and then it just started not catching the ball properly because
okay.
it was from the ball handling system, and then we had to fix it, and so quite a bit of work in terms of debugging stuff, fixing motor sensors, wires. Yeah.
But it is fun, right?
It is, yes.
But it is stressful if you have to do it before the next match, and
Yeah, when you don't have much time.
yeah, okay, understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all I wanted to ask you. Is there anything you want to discuss?
No,
or
I think
ask me?
we
or-
covered a ton. Yeah, thank you so much for
Okay.
the questions.
Yeah, thank you so
Yes,
much for
thank you.
coming,
Yeah,
and
anytime.
thank you for listening. For
Yeah,
everyone
thank you
that's
guys.
listening.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And then
Yes.
we'll be back with the next episode soon.
yeah. See you
Yes.
later.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.